Okay guys, I'm gonna be making some stuffed shells. I'm using jumbo, just any brand of large jumbo shells would do. So I already got everything prepped. What I'm using is I'm gonna use, I cut up some real fine, some onions, and I'm gonna be using my minced garlic. And then I'm gonna saute the onions and the garlic with some grapeseed oil, just a little bit, a tablespoon. I already got my water and I put 2 drops of bouillon, chicken bouillon, in the water for flavor. And so I'm gonna be using that. And so right now I'm gonna just do my saute my minced garlic. I'm gonna let that cook and saute for a minute. And while that's sauteing, I'm gonna do one more. While that's sauteing, then I'm gonna go ahead and let that cook. So my water is already boiled since I already started pre-prepping before the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my shells in. And I use jumbo shells, so that works better for you to, if y'all can't see, I'm gonna pull one out. These work better for you to stuff them easier. And I got that going. Got my mixed garlic. And then my sauteed onions. I'm not even gonna use all the onions that I did cut up because I did cut up a lot. I'm gonna use a little bit more. And that's gonna give me my flavor. Excuse me. And while I get this going, while my shells are going, I'm gonna make some sauce, my sauce. Some people already have their marinara sauce, but I like to make my own. So one of the products I'm gonna be using, some of the ingredients I'm gonna be using is, one moment. I'm gonna be using the ricotta. I'm going to be using the diced tomatoes for the rotel that I use for rotel. I'm going to be using that for my tomatoes. And I'm draining just a little bit of the juice off of the ricotta. The onions are smelling so good with that minced garlic. And you can use, since I use grapeseed oil, a tablespoon of grapeseed oil on there, you can use any oil that you choose. Vegetable oil, whatever, olive oil. I just like grapeseed oil. And then I'm going to put the tomatoes on there. Oh, no. Yes. Well, before I put that on there, I'm gonna use, I don't know if you guys have ever used the pork sausage, Zucchero sausage. I'm gonna be cooking that. I'm gonna add that in there. If you have never used this, you should try it. I'm gonna turn that fire down a little bit. I got my trash is right behind me. I'm just gonna let that cook with those onions to give that more flavor. And this is just a sausage. It's a pork sausage. They do also sell them in beef if you don't want pork. They do also sell this in beef. I'm just cooking that very finely. And then after I get this cooked finally with my onions, then I'm gonna cook some ground beef so I can have the extra meat in my stuffed shells. And this is beginning to smell so good. And all I'm doing is just breaking this sausage up right now. That way, so the onions are gonna get, and that mixed garlic is gonna mix all up in there and get that flavor mixed together. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna be cooking the ground beef. So I'm not making a lot of. I'm sorry, somebody tried to call me, I'm sorry. So while I got my ground beef cooking, my sausage is cooking, I'm good to go. I'm just gonna let my sausage cook a little bit on low now while my ground beef is cooking. I'm gonna let it simmer. That way it doesn't overcook or burn. And the aroma is smelling so good already. And then the other ingredients I'm going to implement is going to be the diced tomatoes, and then I'm going to do some ricotta cheese and some cream cheese, some Philadelphia cream cheese and the ricotta cheese. And then after that, it's going to be Parmesan cheese. And we're going to mix all that together. And then I'm going to implement some spinach in there as well. Smelling good in my house, you guys. So once I get this ground beef, I'm going to season it. And what I'm going to be seasoning mine with, you could season to your liking, but I'm going to be using my seasoning of remember I told you guys I ordered the Layla Ali seasoning? Well, I'm going to be using her garlic goddess seasoning. You guys need to try this. It's good. And then I'm going to do a little bit of Slap Your Mama, just for that little Cajun flavor, and then some pepper. Those are the seasonings I'm going to put in my ground beef. And with your shells, you're going to only cook those till they're done. They're not all the way full done. They're Dante, whatever. How do you say that word? Demente. Because you're going to also put them in the oven. Because I have my oven preheated to 375 right now. Because we're going to also bake this once I get all of the mixture together. Okay, so I'm going to drain my meat. And once I drain the meat, then I'm going to sorry guys. Once I drain my meat, then we'll go ahead and mix all that together with my cheeses. And once I mix it with my cheeses, then it's gonna be ready to mix.
Yes, it is.
And you don't own live. Okay, and I got my meat cooked. And then I'm gonna start implementing my seasoning. Because that ground beef does not have any seasoning. And I'm gonna implement my tomatoes, because these tomatoes don't have seasoning either. And I just drained the grease, the juice off of it. And you can just use regular diced tomatoes. You don't have to use the Rotel. I just love the flavor of the Rotel diced tomatoes. That just does something to me. And I'm gonna let that simmer for a minute. And when I come back, I will let you guys know what else I put in there. Okay, so I got my meat done. Okay, sorry, I had technical difficulty for a moment. Okay, so I got my meat done, and it's already cooking. I'm turning that fire off there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cream cheese. Because, you know, that meat's going to still be cooking for a moment. So I'm going to use a whole stick of the cream cheese. I normally cut it in half once I put it in the bowl. Just cut it in half. And then I'm going to use some ricotta cheese. I love ricotta cheese. And then I'm going to use some mozzarella cheese. Once I get this open. And you can use whatever cheeses that you do like. I like my cheeses really. I like my stuffed shells and anything I'm using with cheese. I love a lot of cheese. And then I'm going to use some cut up chopped spinach that I chopped up very finely. I'm going to implement that in there. And then I also have some chopped up parsley that I'm going to put in there. And then some pepper. Peppers just to give that little kick spice. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the Goddess Ali seasoning blend. Not much. And I'm going to just mix that all. And add 1 egg. And this is how the mixture is going to look. I have my ricotta cheese, my mozzarella cheese, my cream cheese, 1 egg, my parsley, and my spinach. And I'm just going to mix that all up together. So once I get this all mixed up together, I'll come back and show you guys the next step. Okay, so we got all that mixed up. And this is the mixture. And I'm going to put this in a plastic bag. A freezer bag. And this is how I'm going to dip the... Oh, there goes that. So this is that. This is how I'm going to be able to stuff the shells. And I'm going to fasten that. And I'm going to cut the end of this to stuff the shell. I'm going to drain my shell. And then for easy cleanup, I'm going to be using this. So I'm going to put some sauce. Okay, so when I'm back, I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of my meat sauce into my dish. I'm using half of it for the bottom part and half of it for the top, on top of it. Just evenly spreading it out. And then I'm going to take my shells that I got drained in my colander. And I'm going to add a little bit of pepper in there. And with the pepper, that just gives it a little extra flavor. And oh my goodness, these are some big shells. See how large these shells are? Easy to stuff. And what I did was I cut the tip. There we go, move more room. I cut the tip of my bag and I'm gonna place these in here. So that the sauce will come out. And I'm stuffing it as much as I can. And once I do that, I'm going to stuff that and then just place them. So I'm going to do the rest of them and I'll come back once I'm done. All right, y'all. I got that going. Here's my stuff. And I'm going to add some cheese, some shredded cheese on top. And then I'm going to layer it. And you can use whatever cheese you want to make, you want to use. I'm using a mixture blend of cheese. Sorry, my nephew came over for the music. I had to pause it. So I added my cheese. You can add whatever cheese you want, and then put the remainder of the meat sauce that we saved, put that on top. And once you put that on top, we're going to layer another round of cheese. And once we layer another round of cheese, then we're going to put it in the oven. I got my oven preset for 350. Sorry, y'all, that's my nephew.
Seafood coming next. Good dig.
He's over here making some more seafood. Somebody wants to pay him for seafood, y'all. So, hey, I'm doing my video. Y'all gotta excuse my nephew. If y'all haven't seen him on my videos before, y'all already know he a hot mess.
What's your big boy?
Okay, so I got that layered with my cheese sauce.
Go ahead and grab one, Dion.
No,
Get you one, Dion.
he already know don't play with my food.
Go get you one, Dion.
Stop, you're on video.
Okay, so get one.
This gotta be on YouTube too.
Oh, well, that's gonna make it better.
No, it ain't. Stop, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. He ain't play. You ain't washed your hands, and so you can cover it, but I'm not gonna cover mine because I want that little crisp on top.
You gonna take the baby from there? I just got him. Here, hold this big old cell. You gonna hold it?
And so when I gotta put my crisp on top, you can cover it if you want that covered. Me, I'm not doing it. Excuse my nephew. And in my house, we love a lot of cheese. We love a lot of cheese. So I'm gonna use the rest of that. And I'm gonna put it in the oven. And once I put it in the oven, I'll let you guys know when I come back how long I put it in there and show you the finished product. And I'll come be to continued. Turn the music off. Cause I'm finishing my video. Y'all, I already told y'all my nephew is over here, so if y'all hear music in the background, hear him saying something crazy, please avoid that. Okay, this is how the product came out with my cheese stuffed. Y'all got a lot of cheese on here. Look at that. OMG. So I'm gonna put this on a plate. And I'm gonna let look at that cheese. I'm gonna let my nephew taste it. And once he tastes it, then y'all will see. Here you go. Come taste it. You gotta taste the bite for them.
You could have gave it to me with a scooter. I don't want it fresh out. You gonna have me on there?
Blow it.
That's your job.
Y'all see her. He crazy. Y'all excuse him. He crazy.
Guess I'll do y'all job this time.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
Let her try. Let her try some.
You want to give it to her?
Okay, tell me how it tastes. It's good? Alright, that's my first time making that. Alright, y'all. Y'all heard the verdict. It was so good. Then y'all next video, I'm gonna make 2 videos today. Today was the stuffed shells, and then we're getting ready to do the seafood again. So I'll show y'all in the next video on that. But as y'all can see, she's loving it. From my kitchen to your kitchen, I hope y'all enjoyed. Talk to you later.